All right, hello. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to write chords in Ableton Live. So, in order to do this, it would help to have some music theory knowledge, but there's tools in Ableton Live that we can use that can get you cool chord progressions with very little music theory knowledge. So, let's get started. The tool that I'm going to be showing you today is Scale. So right here under MIDI effects and scale, there's all these different scales that you can choose from. And what these do is they filter MIDI data into said scale. So I'm just going to pick minor, and then right down here, you can see the bass note or the scale. So on default, it's on C minor, and then from there you can pick whichever one you want. Doesn't really matter, you can change it later. So go ahead and create a MIDI clip to start writing in. I chose D minor. So what you're going to want to do is you can start on the tonic. So what you're going to want to do is start on the root note of the key. So for D, it's going to be D. And so as you can see, I'm just going to play some notes in my keyboard. So as you can see, I'm just going to play some notes on my keyboard. See, these are two different notes, but they're being filtered to one note. And that's what's going to keep it in scale or whatever key you chose. So let's start writing this chord progression. We're just going to start with D. With chords, it's really easy to just start out with 4 chords. So first note D, and then this is where you can get creative. Just pick whatever sounds right, or maybe mimic something you heard in another song. All right, that's a great place to start. So this is 7 semitones up, and that's going to be called a... So this note right here is 7 semitones up, and that's going to be called a power chord or a fifth. It's a very common frequency. Oops. Also, when I'm writing chords and I'm using a synthesizer, one thing I like to do is drop the root note down an octave. It kind of creates a fuller sound, I find. Also, what I'm doing here is clicking on a note, hitting Control, and then dragging the note, and it's like a quick copy paste. And then while holding down both Control and click, I'm hitting space, and it's just going to cue up the play button, and I can kind of experiment with what that chord might sound like. Kind of like that. Okay, so you have so now we have 4 chords that resolve nicely. So what that means is the last chord kind of comes back around to the first chord, and it sounds cohesive. And you can loop it a bunch, and it'll sound great. Now that's kind of a really important part with chord progressions, is that they resolve and come back around, because you're going to want to repeat them, most likely. So, right now we have 4 chords, but it's 1 chord per each measure, and that can, I don't know, we can do something a little more interesting. So let's turn on the metronome and then start picking more unique, interesting rhythms. So yeah, you can just kind of mess around with it. Feel free to just pick random notes. You know, there aren't any wrong chords or wrong progressions, and when you have all the notes filtered through this scale, you are going to stay within a key, and everything's going to sound halfway decent at least. And just experiment and see what you like. So this is an okay rhythm. So you can keep this filter on, but if you turn it off, it'll sound terrible. Yeah. One little trick, if you don't want to keep copying and pasting the scale here, just open up a new MIDI track, record in that MIDI channel, and it'll go through the filter, and then you have those chords without needing to have the filter. So there you go. Another thing with chords is it's really important what octave they're in, and how that fits in with the arrangement of the song. Like I said, dropping down that root note in octave helps, keeping the chords fat and interesting. But sometimes maybe the bass will be clashing, so just bring them back up. But yeah. So yeah, from here you can have a really good basis on a song. Chords are really important. Harmony is a very big part of writing music. And again, you don't need any music theory to really write interesting chord progressions. Music theory is a tool. It won't hold you back creatively. You don't really need music theory to write interesting chord progressions in Ableton, at least. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything you would like to see, just comment. If there are any tutorials that you would like to see, just comment that below, and I'll see if I can make a video about it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. See you later.